visitors, welcome in. Please stand up for our opening song. Good morning, Genesis family.
Good morning.
It's good to see everybody, and welcome to those of you who are joining us via social media, via YouTube and Facebook. Please let us know that you are here. We have Cal Boyle doing our online connection today. So say hi to Cal. Let us know that you're here and watching. And if it's your first time, please let him know that it is and where you're from and how you found us. That would be awesome. Thanks. So we are, as you know, continuing our minister search. So in support of that, every Sunday we are reading our new minister's Sacred Covenant Easy Prayer together. So if you would please read this out loud together with me, you'll find it here, or if you have a copy with you at home. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister in my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of my new minister is to glorify God, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as love. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by God, for it is written, I dwell in the house of love. Love attends me in my home of the soul. I shall never leave this home of the spirit. I shall abide in this home forevermore. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister before me as revealing the truth and power of love. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am powerfully expressing divine love, inspiring all to do the same. I am blessing and honoring all paths of spirituality, awakening deeper truths and spiritual growth. I am a place where God shows up, expressing divine love and allowing truth and joy to heal all. I am embracing, teaching, and exploring spiritual truths from diverse spiritual teachings. I am teaching and embodying prosperity, trusting that God is the source of my good. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they will be revealed in a way that will glorify God and serve the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful God is gracious, and so it is. Amen. Indeed. Thank you. When we read that prayer together, it holds so much more power because we are owning what it is that we are looking for in those I am statements. So thank you for reading that with me. So I have some announcements, more than a few today. I'm going to go over them briefly because we know that they can be found on our website, on our Facebook page, on Eventbrite, and on Meetup. So for all the details, you can go there as well. First and foremost, as it is listed in my program, we have found a new space. Come on, people. Work with me here.
We're waking up.
February 5th. February 5th is the date that we will be at our new location. It's called Studio 620, but on February 5th and every Sunday thereafter, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 2 p.m., it is going to be Genesis Center for Spiritual Living in Renton. Yes, so what to expect in our new space? Because there will be changes and adjustments as you might expect. We will need feedback also on what is working and what can use improvement as we settle into that new space. So it's important for you to know as you move into February 5th at our new space that we will temporarily be scaling back our music to 2 musicians because of our space and because of the acoustics in our space. So we have to take all of these things into account. And might as well mention that it helps our budget as well, in all transparency. We do need input on what is working. And so we're going to be having our community meetings, reestablishing our community meetings every 4th Sunday starting on February 26th. So please mark your calendar, February 26th for a community meeting so we can talk about how it's going in our new space. If you would like to volunteer for service at our new space, please see Cynthia Zink. We could use setup and breakdown teams. We have the coffee and refreshments that we have to monitor and maintain. So if you want, and please, if you see something else that you want to be a part of, let Cynthia know or let any of the board members know. We can pass that along. We're also having a dry run of our service on Saturday, January 28th. We're going to be there together at 12:30. So if you see what is happening and you have a suggestion or an offering, you have a talent or a skill that you want to give to Genesis to make that flow impeccable and fluid, right? You're gonna want to be there for that. So the address, in case you don't know, 207 Southwest 153rd. So 2 blocks from First at Main Street in Burien. Really, really easy to find. If you have any questions, info@genesiscsl.org. Any of our board members, Cynthia Zink. All right. That was the big juicy stuff, and I know I went through it kind of quickly because of time, but we're here together and you can always ask questions, and we welcome that. Today at 12 p.m. to 1:30 is our monthly Reclaiming Joy After Loss via Zoom. This is facilitated by our practitioners Cynthia Zink and Diane Dyer. They create a caring, safe, and supportive environment for that amazing journey in mending your heart. And every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we also have via Zoom an intention circle that is facilitated by Cynthia Zink and myself, 7 p.m. and you can find the link through any of the avenues that I previously mentioned. We also have care circles here at Genesis, and if you're interested in being part of building community in a way that's more intimate and takes place outside of our Sunday services, you can contact me to find out more about care circles and getting yourself placed into a care circle. You can also ask anybody who's in a care circle. Who here is in a care circle? If you could raise your hands, and you can ask them about what a care circle is and what that's like. So, there is one more thing. Oh, here it is. So this is regarding something that I've taken on since the beginning of the year, January 1st. I started the Science of Mind textbook in a year. I wish I would have brought it in with me, but we're reading the entire text in 1 year. So it's taken in small little chunks. And the great thing about doing it this way is that it's a curated guide. So it's not just page by page reading. You get a concept, and then after that you get some more support from somewhere in the book that connects those things. It's really very beautiful. So you can find the daily readings on Genesis Family or on my Facebook page, Karen L. Williams, RSCP. So please avail yourself of that, digging into that textbook and finding out about all, capital A-L-L, of Ernest's teachings, because there is more than what you think. All right, Cal, any first-timers? Okay, we're all family, welcome. Any first-timers in our facility? I think I saw maybe a few new faces. Could you introduce yourself just briefly?
What's my name? My name is Vicki.
Hi, Vicki.
I live in Seattle, and this is my first time.
Beautiful. Welcome in, Vicki. Happy to have you here. Okay, if that's it, then we're going to move on. But before we do, if you didn't get one of these when you walked in, this is our prayer card and our offering envelope, conveniently packaged for your ease of use. Andrew is here and he has these. If you don't have one, you could raise your hands and he will bring that to you. And while he's doing that, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank our volunteers, and I'm going to begin with Cynthia Zink, who is at that table and creating these little packets for us. She is our volunteer coordinator. Cynthia Zink is a practitioner here and our greeter. I also want to welcome back Soren, who is not in the sound booth today, but we do have sound running. Preston. Gosh, I love my family because they feed me when I am empty. Thank you, Preston. And let me see. Then we have Michael Johns in the back. He is running our PowerPoint so that you can see what's happening back here, as well as our connection to our social media. That is Michael Johns. Andrew Young, as I mentioned, he is our usher and he collects and distributes. And as I mentioned before, Cal is our communication link today. If you haven't already, if you've just dropped in, please say hi to Cal. Let him know that you're here. Today's practitioner is Dave Pennick. Dave Pennick led a meditation this morning, and if you missed that, it will be on Facebook for 30 days, and it's now also on YouTube forever. Forever. You are infamous now, or famous, whatever suits your personality. You can also watch your services live, both on Facebook or on YouTube as well, and get the recordings for eternity. And I do recommend particularly the meditations that you can come back to for that quiet stillness at any time during the day. Dave will also be available after service for a prayer tune-up. If you have any challenges or celebrations, that is what the practitioners here at Genesis are available to the congregation for. So he'll be right back in the back corner of the theater. So we're going to move into the spirit of our service this morning with a song that was Created was written by our own Reverend Eric Odel, inspired by a poem by Rumi, and it is called Out Beyond. So if you'll please stand up, let's sing that together.
Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. A field of love, a field full of forgiveness, a peace that passes understanding. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. A field of love, a field full of forgiveness, a peace that passes understanding. Out beyond ideas of right and wrong, there's a field. I'll meet you there. There's a field. I'll meet you there. See if I can get that there. Ooh, it sounds all right. Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Great.
Good. Thank you. Work with me here, as Karen said earlier. Work with me. So today's theme at Genesis I have is everything new, and the talk message that Eric had, that I have, that it says, earthly life means coping with change, either directed or accepted. And so when coming up with today's reading for today, I thought that I would do a very, very brief reading, and it's one that you may all know, and you may feel free to read along with me or say it along with me if you would like to, and it is the Serenity Prayer. And the reason why I picked this is because when it talks about either direct life or accepted, I thought that that spoke incredibly to me as a person who is a member of AA and has attended many meetings. I can't tell you that the absolute change that I see in people's eyes when they go to the meeting from day 1, day 30, day 60, day 90 to 1 year. It is the courage that they take in their life to say that there's something that has not worked in their life, and the power of the presence to what they do in their lives, that they've come together and they've said that this is something that they want to do to make a difference. And it takes a lot of courage to do that and to share those stories, as I've shared my story countless upon countless of times. And when I see people's eyes go from hopelessness to hope and from faithlessness to faith, it gives me just tremendous and absolute wonderful joy. I know it's helped and saved my life, and I know it's helped and saved many lives. And so this message and this phrase absolutely touches me. So If you want to say, you may say it with me or just listen along. And it's very simple. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let's pray. So right here and right now, I recognize that divine being, that divine love, that divine energy, that one life, that one love, that one universe, that one ever-loving presence. I know that I am one with it right here, right now, as I know that each and every single one of us are here and one with it right now. I know that all words that we say in our lives are the realization of that to which is a presence of us and of God. And at any time in our lives, we can simply say yes to ourselves, and we can direct our own lives if we have the courage, and we do have the courage to stand up for our own lives and change it at any moment, at any time, at any intention, be it January, February, March, whatever time in our life. All we have to say is yes to ourselves. Have the courage to stand and say, this is what I declare out of life. Because I know this one simple truth, this realization of this one simple truth is that the universe only says yes. It only says yes to that to which you activate into this world. And so I realize right now that all the presence, everything that we say into this world is activated into that divine energy, into that ever-loving presence, into the ever-loving God, into the ever-loving life that is us. It is me, and it is every single one of you, and it is every single one of us in this world. And we can make a difference. And so with that, I give great thanks. I give great thanks to this life. I give great thanks to Genesis. I give great thanks to the change that is happening to Genesis, because it is all good. And as I release this prayer, I say it as I say every single time I pray, it is all good, because it is truly always all God. And so it is.
So it is.
And so with that, I welcome our band to the stage. I say it with a little bit of sadness, but I want to welcome them because I just love you guys. Second shot.
That's the way of time.
guys leave the stage, can you hear me? Am I on? I turned it on. Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yeah.
Am I on mic? There we go. I just want to say next Sunday I'm going to be at Unity of Bellevue and I won't be here, but this is our last Sunday together for a while. And I just, have to really bow to you. Oh, just incredible, really. And I was a music director for 14 years, and I know what I'm talking about, and you guys are the stuff.
Much appreciated.
So, what I want to talk about, we had this great workshop last week ago, Saturday, and it was intention setting. And setting intentions is great. This business of some aspects of life you do direct it. And then the different about intentions is you set a course, but you don't fill in all the details. You still are in a process of receiving and cooperating with the larger life around you. And one aspect of what I do typically in an intention setting workshop is to invite you to create a theme. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, is having a theme. You can have a theme for the year. And what's a theme? A theme is an organizing principle. So the New York Times, the theme is all the news that's fit to print. That's their theme. Or it's an idea that recurs and that shapes and that kind of defines the intention. And for Walt Disney Company, it's the happiest place on earth. And it's also a way of defining something. So Genesis has a theme, and it's we are a home for the soul and all are welcome. That's a theme. These are all themes. So you get to have a theme. I remember reading a great article many years ago, and I could not find it, so I can't tell you the name of the person that wrote it. But the person who wrote it was an advertising executive, and he had developed a method of analyzing cultures and extracting the theme that revealed itself through the culture. And understanding the motivation and the theme of the culture, it really served him in creating an advertising campaign. So, I'm going to give you the one example that I remember, because this was many years ago, but it was so great. And he was analyzing different cultures' relationship to food. Okay? So, and he came up with a theme for America's relationship to food. And the theme he came up with is food as fuel. So in America, we treat food as fuel. It's something that we tank up on in order to get back on the road. And that's why we are the country that invented fast food and drive-up windows. Right? Food is fuel. That's America's relationship to food. The French, the theme is, I have good taste. That's the French relationship to food. And I don't know if you knew this, but in every French public school, from elementary school through high school, every school has a chef. And lunch is a 3-course meal that is served in a circular table. And children are taught to develop a sophisticated palate. And I don't know, I meant to look up the statistic, but there's a lot less child obesity in France, right? So the relationship to food is, you demonstrate that you have good taste, okay? And in England, and it's a little less true today because England, sorry, we have a new equipment today. Everybody awake? Okay, great. So in England, it used to be a lot true when this guy was writing, and England's culture and cuisine has been influenced by a lot of immigration and a lot of introduction of other cultures and foods. But it was certainly true for a long time that English food had a reputation for being bland. And the theme for England was, I am polite. So that's a relationship to food. So the food isn't obnoxious, it isn't too spicy, it doesn't draw too much attention to itself. The way you relate to food is you are well behaved, you use the right fork, it's put in the right place. In some parts of England, you put the milk in before the cup before you put in the tea. In other parts of England, you put the tea in and then the milk, and it's a big deal, and you have to follow the rules. Okay? So nations have themes. And as it turns out, religions have themes. So Catholicism's theme, and this is just me talking, but I'm talking so I get to have opinions. Catholicism's theme is martyrdom. That's the theme of Catholicism. Remember that very famous saying of Mother Teresa's, "Give till it hurts." That's what she was famous for saying. And she certainly martyred herself. We now know from her autobiography that she was filled with this dark spiritual emptiness for much of her life. Here she was doing all these wonderful things for people, and she was spiritually empty, and this was her sacrifice. And she made that sacrifice, and she took on all that pain in order to be close to Jesus, and to be close to Jesus' experience on the cross. So that's a theme of Catholicism. It's the martyr path. That's why it was just at the fireworks gallery, and they have this little Catholic little book of saints, and all these saints who had their eyes taken out, or shot with arrows, or drowned, or you seek to emulate the suffering. That's the theme of Catholicism. On the other hand, Quakerism, the theme is listening for the voice of God for inspiration and moral guidance. And I don't know if you've ever been to a Quaker service, but to Quakers, their favorite service is one in which no one says anything. Silence is the most cherished aspect of Quaker worship. Pentecostal religions, on the other hand, the theme is ecstatic union with the divine presence through vibrant worship. And when you go to a Pentecostal service, the music is this rhythmic, repetitive, driving, tribal beat that is a tide of sound and rhythm that is relentless. You cannot be sitting outside of a Pentecostal service. How many people here have ever been to a Pentecostal church? It is thumping, thumping, driving, and the preaching style is ecstatic exhortation. It's very rhythmic, it's very driven, it's very interactive. And it is to drive the participant to a place beyond themselves where they fall out and speak in tongues. Okay? That's the theme of the Pentecostal religion. In Buddhism and Hinduism, the theme is transcendence. The practices, the purpose of the religion and the worship and the practices and the temples and the bell ringing and the meditations and the celebrations and the rituals and the altars and everything is to attain enlightenment and thereby escape the physical plane, and to escape this round of constant reincarnation. The whole goal is to transcend and get away from here. And there's another religion that's in India, it's called Jainism. And the goal of Jainism, the theme is to harm no living thing. So Jain practitioners wear face masks, so no flies fly into their mouth and they don't accidentally kill a bug. And they sweep the path before them so they don't accidentally step on any ants. Like they're really obsessed with not harming anyone or anything. That's a theme, okay? And Islam's theme is obedient. The word Islam literally means surrender or submission. So what is Science of Mind theme? Well, if you ask 25 religious science ministers, you're going to get 25 different answers for what is the theme of Science of Mind. If you ask this minister, Science of Mind's theme is we apply the laws of science, philosophy, and spirituality to uplift the individual and make the world a better place. That's our theme. That's what we're about as far as I understand it. And I've only been in Science of Mind for 27 years. So what do I know? So what's your theme? What's your theme? What's your theme? What do you want to claim for this new year? It could be a word. It could be a God quality that your soul is longing to experience more of. Is there some attribute of the divine that you've always felt is sort of far from you or hard to experience? It could be abundance, it could be beauty, or grace, or freedom, creative expression, love, peace of mind, health and wholeness, or joy. What is a word that might be your theme? You know, I'd like to have more of this. I'd like to experience more of that. I used to have more of that. I want to have it again. So your theme could just be that. And it doesn't. And the great thing about having a God quality as your theme is it can apply to everything. It doesn't matter whether you're changing a spare tire, decorating a Christmas tree, or sitting with somebody who's dying, or meeting a new friend, or having a romance, or changing jobs, or buying, a pack of chewing gum. You can express or experience that divine attribute no matter what happens. That's a possibility. Or it could be a phrase. In preparing for the talk today, I realized if I'm going to pitch to you guys the idea of having a theme, I better have a theme. Because I don't want to ask you to do anything that I haven't done. So I thought about what my theme was, and what emerged for me was in this first month of the year already, I'm experiencing a theme, and it has to do with travel. So I planned, and I'm a planner and an anticipator, and I planned a trip, a vacation to Florida in January, and then we had that big cold front and the ice storm, and as we got to the airport on Christmas night, the flight was canceled, and then I had to go back to the airport and wait in a long line and get booked 4 days later for our tickets to Florida. So the trip was different than we thought, right? It was going to take place 4 days later. It was going to be shorter. And life required me to just go with it. Just go with it. And actually, the 4 days that we didn't go to Florida, in a different reality, in a different iteration of me, I could have been pretty bitter about not going away for 4 days and having to stand in line for 3.5 hours at the airport, yada, 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 yada. And actually, the 4 days that I didn't go were great. I hosted a couple of dominoes games, and I took care of some work projects and things that would have been hanging over my head while I was on vacation, and it all was great. And the vacation was great. Everything was great. Everything was great. Then Ken and I are planning a trip, and we thought it was going to be in February, and then he had some work things come, and it has to be moved to March. And then I thought it was going to be the two of us for 2 weeks, and he said I can only go away for 1 week. And then I thought it was going to be in LA area for 2 weeks, and now it looks like I'm going to be in LA for a week and Mexico for a week. It's all, and I kept, and the thing is, I keep looking up places to stay and not booking. Something keeps me from booking and committing, because something knows it's not going to go the way I thought it was. And then there's a third trip that we're talking about taking to Maine, because he has his family, extended family, has a summer place on Mount Desert Island in Maine. And we put in 3 different time periods. It might be June, it might be August, it might be September. We still don't know, and we not know. Is it going to be 2 weeks, it's going to be 1 week, or is it going to happen at all, blah, blah, blah. So this is a long story to say, my theme for 2023 is go with the flow faithfully. That's my theme. Not just to go with the flow, not just to go like, okay, I'll accept whatever, but to go faithfully knowing it's the best thing. Because the trip to Florida was great, and it wasn't the way I thought it was going to go. And I'm sure it's going to be true of these other things. And there are going to be changes, like going to the new space. And who knows, we might be, at some point there's going to be a new minister, and there'll be a change for you, and it'll be a change for me, because I won't be the interim minister anymore. So, what go with the flow faithfully means to me is not only accepting the unexpected changes, but embracing them with a glad expectation of a greater good. So there is a serenity flare for a prayer of peace to my theme. So that was perfect. Dave, you're so good. Eddie Watkins Jr. is a great musician, and he has a saying, I don't know where I'm going, I just know it's going to be great. Okay? So that's really what's going on for my theme. So you could also choose or select a phrase for your theme. Choosing health, investing in me, my year of follow-through, setting boundaries, gaining stability, saying yes, my year of saying yes. My year of saying no. Some people don't know how to say no. No is a complete sentence. And this could be you. This could be, you know what? This is my year of saying no. Or you could be a person who feels like you've reached a point in life where you understand that you're overly cautious and you're just going to say yes. Whatever shows up, you're going to say yes. Choosing my thoughts, taking responsibility, wander and wonder, staying curious, finding balance, slowing down, practicing patience, decluttering my mind, body, and spirit, speaking the truth and hearing the truth, or embracing change. Everything must change. Yes, Rick has given us a sermon and song. Okay. Another thing to think about, or another way to look at it, is educators are learning that having a theme for the school year is a very powerful practice. It helps bring a sense of cohesiveness to the whole school year and all the departments of it. So many school principals have discovered the power and potential of using school-wide themes to build school spirit, morale, camaraderie, and test scores. At Lewis Vincent Elementary School in Denton Springs, Louisiana, this year's theme is teamwork, and the slogan is, we're on the same team. And so they have that slogan, they present that slogan, it's on big banners, and then they apply that, or they bring everyone's attention to that theme all throughout the year. They choose the theme before they leave for the summer, the staff. And that way everyone can be looking during the summer for ideas and suggestions for incorporating the theme into teaching projects, school improvements, and so on. And they have contests and all that kind of stuff. At Weatherly Elementary School in Huntsville, Alabama, for many years, they've used this. And this year's theme is Be Excited About Reading. B-E-A-R, because it's not the motto, the mascot is a bear. So they have Be Excited About Reading. And we have very nice Readers Hall of Fame that spotlight children who are, achieving reading goals. And large banners are outside the school and signs. And during the American Education Week Children's Book Week, the hallways were renamed, including Barry Potter Lane. It's cute, but it keeps that focus. Now, there's another story that I remember reading about, and this was maybe a couple of years ago, and I tried to look it up, so I can't cite exactly who it was, but it was a really great story. So, there's this guy, and he is a high school girls basketball coach. And he observed that whether by nature or nurture, whether socialization or genetics, that girls were less competitive than the boys, because he coached boys, and were less inclined to be fierce and to be competitive and to be aggressive. And he wanted to correct that. He wanted to change that. He wanted to introduce dynamic playing in the girls' basketball teams. So each year he started selecting a theme for the team. And it was always based on animals. And one year it was School of Piranha. And so he had the girls thinking of themselves as a school of piranha, attacking and devouring in group. And another year it was wolf pack. And so the girls formed a wolf pack, okay? And wouldn't you know, the team was winning championships. So that is the power, an example of the power of a theme. Okay? What is your theme for 2023? What are you longing to experience more of? A positive theme is more powerful than a negative one. So if your theme is nobody hurts me, how about I am the invincible life divine? Or I walk in the love of God. And if you want some coaching on selecting your theme, I would love to have the chance to do that if you want to talk to me after service and if you want to talk to Dave about that. Because we both love to help people figure these things out. So, I hope I have stimulated in you an idea about having a theme. Because it's a great tool. It's a way of using the power of your mind, using the power of your word to declare a thing, and to then allow the divine to show up. Okay? And if you want to write your theme down on your card, your prayer card, then the practitioners will join you in knowing and agreeing with that theme. And what I want to say is, it's great if you think of a theme today, and then it's really great to make a banner, or it's really great to put that theme on your wallpaper, on your computer, or on your phone. And it's really good to put the theme on a piece of paper across the top of your bathroom mirror, to keep the theme present, to remind you to check in with it. And what's great about this is it's not like, there's that practice of I'm not going to complain for 30 days. And if I catch myself complaining, I forgive myself and then I start another 30 days. That's a lot of work. I don't know if I even made it 30 days. Thank God I don't complain very much naturally. But the thing about having a theme is, it's very easy. You just have that theme. It's just something to focus your mind. It's just something to keep in front of you. It doesn't take a lot of work, and the rewards are really great. So we're going to, as the band is coming up and we get ready, I'm going to close with prayer. This is your time to fill out your prayer cards, put in your prayer requests. I always say don't pass up a chance to pray or to have people pray with you, because it's incredibly powerful. And it could be about anything. It doesn't have to just be about help me find a theme or here's my theme, although if you put that on the prayer card, that's certainly okay. I know one thing that's going to be a theme for Genesis in the new space, and this is just a testament to the power of space. Architects have a lot of power because they create a physical space that then affects what goes on in this space. And the difference in the new space is we don't have a lobby, but we can have food and drink in where the worship is. So there will be able to be a lot more socializing in the new space, and that's exciting. I guess the new space is really kind of, Genesis 3.0. We're going to get a third minister, so it's going to be Genesis 3.0, and that's going to be great. I know. Let's take a deep breath in together, and I just speak a word of truth of gratitude for the divine intelligence that created language, that created our ability to think linguistically in order to think and have concepts and ideas and opinions, and allows us to have this thing called a theme, an organizing principle, a way of defining the self, a way of claiming, a way of naming a path. And I bless all of the themes that are arising today in us, and I bless the power of those themes to bring into actual manifestation in our lives a greater good. But that's the whole purpose behind a theme. We are here to live our best life. And so I give thanks for all the good that is in our life and the greater good that we are drawing into our life through our mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional efforts. Ernest Holmes said, a demonstration is the result of the time and energy it takes. And so I bless our efforts to be good, to fulfill our goodness, our divine nature, to be forces for good in the world. And I bless Science of Mind, which applies the laws of physics and spirituality to the actual aspirations and dreams of humankind. What a wonderful life we are living. I give thanks. I give such great thanks for this life and all that it brings. And we let that be. We know it is done, and so it is.
Talent.
I apologize for like 5 or 6 things.
Oh, by all means, you are forgiven. You each are a gift, and I treasure every moment that I've had the opportunity to receive that. So I was thinking, and I hope that you each, during that interlude, had an opportunity to think about your theme and your intention for the year. And I was reminded of something that I came across in my care circle. I love my care circle. And we meet in person, which is a blessing to me. And we, after our last meeting, there was a box of the Louise Hayes inspirational card deck of cards, and so we each chose one. And this is just a piece of mine that has really stuck out to me, and I think that I will maybe put it on my mirror. And it says, "Today is a very exciting time in my life." Today is a very exciting time in my life. So I share that with you as an inspiration for your own sweet selves. All right, back to work. So you have created your prayer card that the practitioners at Genesis get to pray on for the week. And so now we're going to take the opportunity to craft our offering. Our center is supported by God. We know that. And we welcome you to be a part of how God's support shows up for Genesis. So if you're on Facebook, please visit our website at genesiscsl.org, or you can tithe your offering in as well. So please take a moment to craft a gift to Genesis. Called to do so, if you'll hold your offering by your heart while we say our offering prayer together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. And we'll sing our blessing song together while Andrew comes around and collects our offerings and our prayers.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my joy, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need.
So I just acknowledge how we have initiated the law of reciprocity, the law of circulation, knowing that as we give, so shall we receive, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing, and know that that is the activity of God in and as life, right now and forever. And so it is. All right, let's close it out. You know, stand up and let's do our closing song together.
need to talk to the band.